Hello and welcome or welcome back. Today we're just going to be playing some more Killing Floor 1 and just talking about stuff. So, yeah, I'll stop rambling and we'll get right into it. Oh, yeah. You guys know what time it is. It's heavy machine gunner time. Aw, sweet. And you know what time it is. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I said it. Thank y'all for chilling, by the way. As always. That was fucking weird. Oh, yeah, there's no headshots. Not with these guns. Ooh. Sounds like a war is going on upstairs. I hope you guys have been doing good. I don't know, I've had it's a third video this week. I haven't done that in a minute. Like, at least consecutively. But I figured, what the hell, I'm excited for Killing Floor 3. And it's Christmas in July. Look at that. That's awesome. Yeah, I wake up this morning, and it was a couple of days ago. Mr. Death in the Discord, he's like, I'm gonna order us Killing Floor 3 the day before release, and we're gonna fucking play it all day that day. You're gonna get content out, you know, all this stuff. You know, he's excited. I'm excited. Woo! Haha. But I wake up this morning, and I've been checking Steam every morning on my phone when I wake up just to see, is there news on Killing Floor 3? That stress test coming? Come on now, I want to see. But I check and it says a notification, and I got a gift, and it's the fucking Bufu edition. I'm pretty sure it's the Bufu edition. The $80 edition is waiting for me. I'm like, holy shit! I've never had that. I'm not, like, that's something that I was even talking to him the other day, and it was about something completely different. And I'm just like, I'm not used to, like, I'm in my fucking 30s. I'm a man. I'm not used to getting gifts like that, you know. And we were talking about other things, but it wasn't about that at all. Like, something completely different, but it's actually very relevant. But it is just kind of funny. You know, I wake up and I'm like, holy shit. It's just so random. Because that's like, to me, that's, you know, that's not no money. You know, like a lot of people, that's like nothing. To a lot of people, that's nothing. I know to him, that's something too. So I really do appreciate it. I know, you know, like that's really cool. Yeah. Oh, I was trying to hit a sweet spot. Did I not reload? Okay, no. But anyway, we'll get past that. Thank you again, Death. We're gonna fucking tear that shit up. And also, if you're gonna be playing day one or whatever, or even not, you know, I do have a Discord, wherever, you know. So, you know, join that. Come and hang out. Woo. Haha. You bastard. But anyway, yeah, no, I actually did. Why did it do that? That's weird. I did watch a movie last night. So we will talk about that. It's a movie I've seen a million times. I'm sure you guys have seen it too. Oh my god. So far away. How do I have 59 health? Holy shit. What? I thought that was the last one. Oh my god, I don't know why it does that. I hit the shift button because there's a hotkey in this mod where if you hit shift, it's run, but you just pull out your knife. Well, sometimes it keeps your knife out. You see how it just puts it away? That I'm holding shift and I let go of shift. That's what it's supposed to do. Sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know why. But when it doesn't work, it's very fucking annoying. Anyway. Yeah, so I watched Return of the Living Dead. I fucking love that movie, man. The original one, the first one. Ooh, I even watched like the special features. Not all the commentaries and stuff, because I think there's like 3 different commentary versions. No, I'm not watching all that. But there was like a couple of mini documentary type style things, and it's pretty cool. Got the DVD from about 20 years ago. Almost 20 years ago. I think all that stuff was from '07. The movie came out in '84. and all of like the bonus feature documentary stuff was 2007. So like the whole setup is very 2000s, and I love it. You know, with the metal, the like new metal music and shit. You know, like it's great. I don't know, the vibe's awesome. But anyway, just a quick little background on like, you know, a little fun factoid, I guess, is that it was originally meant to be a direct sequel to Night of the Living Dead, because what had happened was George Romero and the writer of Night of the Living Dead, they had like a falling out. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, and yeah, I got all this shit going on. But they had a falling out, but they like, you know, went separate ways, right? But they were both able to make Dead movies, right? Like, no problem. They're not going to sue each other. It was all good, you know, amicable split. Well, they wanted to, like, Day of the Dead came out, or was it Day? I think it was Dawn of the Dead actually came out, and that was a direct sequel. Yeah, that's what it was. That's why it was That's why it was Dawn. Okay, because Day's the third in that trilogy. I knew that. I just was getting my timelines mixed up. Because it was 84, and I think that one came out in 86. I think Day came out in 86. Yeah, and the guy that ended up directing the movie didn't want to step on George Romero's toes, and he didn't want to, like, mess things up. Woo! He didn't want to, like, convolute it and all this. He wanted to pay respect, you know, I don't know. He didn't want to rip off George Romero. So he was like, I'm going to make it a comedy. Well, it's like what would they call a spoof? But it's not really. It kind of is and it isn't. Like it is pretty serious when it boils down to it. It's one of the more horrifying zombie apocalypses you can come up with, because these ones are sentient and they just come up out of the graves. You know, it's pretty. I've always liked that. And then they're also indestructible. Go ahead and chop the head off. That doesn't do shit. Destroy the brain. That doesn't do shit. You burn it. Yeah, that gets rid of it. But then it also pollutes the environment and spreads the disease, spreads the plague. So, but yeah, we'll talk about the plot a little bit. You know, I still want you guys to go and watch these movies that I talk about. But if you don't, you know, I appreciate you taking my word for it. Now, where the hell is this? Oh. A reindeer. Oh, hey, buddy. He's map appropriate. But anyway, yeah. Well, the movie starts off, and it's just like I'm pretty sure it starts off with the owner, and then I guess like a manager, and then like a new guy at a medical supply warehouse that for some reason stores dead bodies too. Not just like for science, like I could see that, but I mean like as transport, I believe. But anyway, yeah, like it sets it up with where it is. They're right by a cemetery, and there's like there's a mortuary, kind of like, you know, like down the street a little bit, you know, within the cemetery. And damn it, I thought I got that little bastard. And well, the manager, like the older guy, the older employee guy, he wants to, like, you know, impress the kids. So he starts talking about, he's like, "You've seen Night of the Living Dead." Well, that was based on a true story, but they had to change things. You know, George Romero had to change things because the government threatened him and all this other stuff. But it actually happened, and this is how it went down, and yada yada yada. And the kid's just like, "Well, how do you know this?" And he's like, "Well, we have one of the bodies." So he takes the employee down there, the new employee, the younger guy down there to see the body, right? And that's where you see the Tar Man. Like he's not the Tar Man necessarily yet. And the Tar Man's like that iconic zombie that has like the black melting skin like tar, because he's just so. It's like he was locked away in that thing. He's like one of the patient zeros or whatever, you know, like of the original zombie apocalypse, you know. So, well, the guy, you know, they're looking through. There's like a fucking glass on the top. You could see it. You know, it's very hammy, I guess, you know, because I don't think that shit would happen that way if they were gonna have it. If that were to happen, but yeah. So like the guys just, so the kids just like, so that thing, that the capsule won't break, yada yada yada, and it's that whole classic. The guy hits it. No, this thing's sturdy, made by the American Army, and sure as shit it breaks, you know. And then it lets out like a mist, a gas that they breathe in, and then they pass out, and then it like does the beginning sequence of the gas kind of going throughout. There was a body that the guy showed the kid before that was just hanging up by his head, like, you know, there's like a, what is it, like the, what do you call it, like what you would move those big ice cubes, like what people use those like large, that would move like large ice cubes, I guess, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know, like for ice fishing. They're like, I don't know, you probably know what I'm talking about, big grabbers. He was like hanging up by that. I've never seen that before. I was like, okay, whatever. But then like that one comes to life, you know, I don't know, that's like the beginning sequence. I will probably kill myself with this weapon, but we will see. Haha. You know, the pulse rifle, guys, come on. It's so expensive, that's why I haven't really used it before. And you can kill yourself with that very easily. Anyway, I'm going to have to breeze through the rest, almost. Just so that cuts to, like, the group of, like, partying, you know, teenagers looking to party, you know, like 80s hooligans, you know what I mean? What do you call them? Ne'er-do-wells, or whatever the fuck. I don't even know what that, you know, whatever 80s jargon. They're looking for a place to party. Well, they come across that cemetery because they're waiting for their friend, and one of the girls, and one of the chicks in the group's boyfriend. That's the kid that's working, the younger guy that's working that just got gassed, you know. So that's always fun. So that's where they connect. But then they go to the cemetery and party. That's where like the if you know, if you're connected, if you like, that's where the famous metalhead, like 80s metalhead goth chick, whatever you want to call her, does the whole like stripping in the cemetery, dancing on a tombstone thing, and she's just, you know, full out, you know. I mean, it's muy bueno, to say the least. And then throughout the rest of the movie, she's just, you know, she's just naked, so until her time comes, obviously. But yeah, no, that's a thing. That's like I bring that up because it's known. Like that's a known thing. That and the tar guy is pretty iconic. Like there are a few things. The half chick, I'll talk about that. Hold on. So those guys that got gas wake up. They call the boss because they don't know what the hell's going on. The boss comes back. That's when the whole graveyard striptease things happen, and then it cuts back to the boss just yelling at these guys as those guys are sweating and starting to feel it, right? Well, they start to hear pounding in that storage locker with that one hanging corpse, right? Well, he's alive, he wants out, and he's pretty pissed off. So they let him out. He attacks the owner, but doesn't like bite him or hurt him or anything. And then that's when they find out you can't kill these things. You can't kill them. Oh yeah, you can't. All you can do is kind of stop him a little bit. The only way to kill him is to burn it. Well, he takes it to his buddy. I think his name was Earl. Haha, like the show. And he's probably like the best character in the whole movie. And he gets him to burn it after telling him that they're rabid weasels, and he's just like, "That's cruel. I can't burn animals. Let me shoot him." And he pulls out his gun. And he's like, "Let me just take him outside and shoot him." He's like, "You can't do that, yada, yada, yada." They explain it to him. He's just like, fine. You know, they're buddies, longtime buddies. And he's just like, "I'll get rid of this. And that's it. You owe me." And, well, they burn him. And you know what happens. It goes into the atmosphere right away. It starts piss and rain in the cemetery. And then, like, you know, as the kids are doing other... I can't exactly remember the fucking chain of events. See, I just watched this shit last night, but I was doing like 3 other things. They get separated at one point. The chick goes to look for her boyfriend and then comes across Tarman. And she like, you know, he's really cool. Like, he's like, brains, more brains, human brains, live brains, like shit. Like, it's a great one. And I guess like they purposely hired a real actor instead of just like a stunt guy to do it because, you know, it adds more character to the character and it like works so good. But anyway, you know, that chick, she she kind of she locks herself in a closet, like, or like a, was like a storage locker. And then, well, the zombie, the tar guy, he's smart. He ties like a gantry thing to a chain to like the handle and cranks it off. but but then the friends come. The friends come to save her because they're looking. They know shit's happening. It's raining, and the rain is like acid rain. So or it's like acidic. It's not like burning them, but it's not right. And oh, that bitch. Yeah, they save her, but in the process, they lose their leader. And then, as they're running through the cemetery, they end up losing Hottie. But then they make it to the mortuary where everybody's holding up and everything like that, and they explain what's going on. All this crazy shit happens. As they're boarding up the windows, after they board up the windows, one gets broken out, and then one of the other kids gets pulled out by the skeleton, like the mostly skeleton zombie, really like beef jerky zombie female. And like as he's getting bit up, they pull him back in with her, like attached to him, right, biting his head. And then they cut her in half and then tie her to a what is that? The table that the mortician works on, works on the bodies. And then they interrogate her, interview her, right, for the YouTube channel. And she tells them I couldn't get him. This does a lot of damage to him. Well, she tells them that because they're sentient. Well, they ask her a bunch of questions. The reason why they eat brains is because being dead hurts. And that's the only thing that, like, soothes the pain. They're like junkies, They're like junkies for brains. That's kind of what I would, like compare it to. So it's pretty interesting how that works. And then, the movie slowly kind of... Well, I forgot to mention that... that pod is a government-owned thing that the army, lost. So they're also following, this general that's, trying to track it or whatever, So, eventually they submit and they call the number on the canister, right? And, well, what ends up happening is, the general's talking to them all calm, asking them questions, writing everything down. And then, after the fact, he just goes and orders a small nuke to be dropped. Like a smallish nuke. I think it said 20 blocks. So, they think they're getting help. They end up getting, bombed. But, it works. I know I kind of fucking, blew through, especially, the end part. But, that's when it really kind of gets good. Fuck you. I mean, the whole movie's great, but... the second half is where shit really hits the fan. Where am I? There you go. Well, if you stuck around this long, I really appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know. I knew I blew through, that second half of the movie. But like I said, the second half is... I mean, the whole movie's good and very informative. And, they explain pretty much everything that you need to know. It's pretty good. And, I don't know. One thing I've always noticed about that movie is that it's, the acting is very good for what it is, it's supposed to be kind of a campy, spoofy movie, but it's not all. There's just comedy elements to it, That's pretty much what it is. But the acting is so well done, and I that was the first time I watched these special features, and I find out that that they rehearsed it for 2 weeks or something like that, I think. So they're very comfortable with it, they did it like a play. And I thought that was pretty neat how they did it. These guys, all these people are so old school, the way that they're explaining it, their process and everything. I was like, damn, I appreciate that, But I don't know, you're not gonna get movies like that nowadays, so I don't know. I know that some people look at it and they're just like, oh, this is old, it's crunchy, it's not that great. Well, I mean, I think those special effects are amazing. I hate CG. Unless you're using it to touch things up, it mostly looks like shit. It doesn't look convincing. And I think it takes a lot of talent to make convincing practical effects, to make those dummies or the puppets and all that shit, all the prosthetics that look really. So some zombies are going to look like shit, obviously, because you have 100 of them. Not all of them are going to look good. That's why they're going to focus on a handful of them and make those ones look really good. but or at least as good as they can for the day, which I still think looks really good. The Tar Man's fucking creepy, you know, and like they have a version of him, I think, in like every sequel moving forward, but like I think there's only like 1 or 2 sequels that are worth it. Maybe I'll look into it. I know the second one, I'm pretty sure that's that one that's good, and I think after that they just all suck. But I don't know, I'll stop ranting and rambling and let you get on with your day or night. If you would just please consider doing all the things that YouTube likes and that I appreciate very, very much. Thank you so much for hanging out. It really does mean the world to me. You have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one.